My fiancé announced, "I want a polyamorous family. Open marriage, multiple partners. The works, after 3 years together." I responded, "That's a big change." Then I told her I'm monogamous, and that's not negotiable. When she gave me an ultimatum, polyamory or we're done, and I chose done, she panicked, realizing she just ended an engagement over a fantasy she'd seen on TikTok. My name is Jason. I'm 32, and my fiancée Emily is 29. That morning, I was sitting on the couch scrolling through apartment listings for our next place when she walked into the living room with that look, the one that always meant something serious was about to happen. She didn't sit next to me. She chose the chair across from the couch. Already, my stomach sank. "We need to have a serious conversation about our relationship structure," she said, her voice calm but firm. I looked up, trying to gauge her tone, half hoping this was just one of those minor disagreements couples have. "Okay, what's going on?" I asked. She inhaled slowly, like she had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times. "I've been doing a lot of self-discovery lately," she began. "Reading, learning, watching educational content. And I need to tell you something important about who I really am." I felt my chest tighten. Those words, the ones that always precede life-changing confessions, hung heavy in the air. Then she dropped it. "I'm polyamorous." Silence. The kind of silence that makes your ears ring. The upstairs neighbor's footsteps echoed faintly through the floorboards. I blinked, trying to process. "You mean, you want an open relationship?" I asked cautiously. Emily shook her head. "It's not just opening it. I want us to practice ethical polyamory, multiple committed relationships coexisting. It's actually a really healthy and evolved way to love when you understand it properly." Her words, precise and earnest, were meant to reassure me, but instead, they made my world feel unfamiliar. I put my laptop aside and took a deep breath. "This is coming out of nowhere," I said slowly, choosing my words carefully. "Where's this coming from?" I asked, trying not to sound accusatory. Her eyes flashed defensively. "It's not coming from anywhere. It's who I've always been. I just didn't have the framework to understand it before." I swallowed hard. 3 years, countless late-night conversations about marriage, future plans, children, and not once had she mentioned anything remotely like this. "Emily," I said gently, "we've been talking about marriage for 3 years. You never once brought this up. Because society programs us to suppress parts of ourselves." "Really?" She looked away, biting her lip. "Monogamy is literally a patriarchal construct," she insisted, "created to control women and limit human connection. I've been learning about kitchen table polyamory, relationship anarchy." I raised my hand, interrupting. "This is a massive change. This isn't small. This isn't just adding something new. You're asking to completely rewrite the rules of our relationship." Her expression softened, almost pleading. "It's expanding it. We'd still be together, still love each other. There'd just be more love. No one person can meet all your needs anyway." I felt a strange calm settle over me, the quiet clarity of a mind entering crisis mode. "You're right," I admitted slowly. "No one can meet every need. That's what friends are for, family, community. But romantically, sexually, I'm monogamous. That's not negotiable." Her face shifted subtly. Disappointment, frustration, disbelief. "You won't even consider it?" she asked. "That's closed-minded." I shook my head. "It's not closed-minded. I'm not monogamous by default. One actively choose it. This is who I am." Her voice rose, a mixture of desperation and indignation. "How do you know if you've never tried it? You might love it." I held my ground. "We've been monogamous for 3 years. You just told me this changes everything. Asking someone to fundamentally change their core relationship needs isn't growth, it's incompatibility." Emily started pacing, her fingers brushing through her hair. "You're trying to control how I love people," she accused. "No," I said softly. "I'm stating what I need to be in a relationship. You can love however you want, but I get to decide what kind of relationship I'm in." The room felt smaller, every word sharper than the last. Emily's gaze fell to the floor. "Then I guess we're done. I'm not going to suppress who I am for anyone." She said it with finality, calm but resolute. I sat back, numb, watching the person I thought I knew transform into someone I barely recognized. 20 minutes ago, I was planning a life with her. Now, I was facing the sudden collapse of everything we had built together. Emily disappeared into the bedroom, her movements precise, almost mechanical, like she had rehearsed this moment countless times. I remained on the couch, staring at the apartment that was suddenly too quiet, too empty. The boxes of our future plans, the wedding deposits, the invitations we had painstakingly selected, they all felt like relics of a life that no longer existed. My phone buzzed. Connor, my best friend. What happened? He asked before I could even explain. Emily just ended it. After 3 years together, I said, my voice flat, almost hollow. I told him the whole story, the polyamory revelation, the ultimatum, the breakup. Connor was quiet for a moment, processing. Wait, she got into this polyamory thing from TikTok and ended your engagement over it? His disbelief mirrored my own. I nodded. Yeah, basically, it's insane. The next day, my phone buzzed again. Emily, hey, can we talk? I think we were too emotional last night. I stared at the screen. My thumb hovered over the reply button, reluctant. Sure, what's up? I typed finally. Her message, I don't think we need to break up. We just need better communication. I laughed bitterly. Better communication? She wanted multiple partners. I wanted monogamy. How exactly did that become a communication issue? Then came the compromise proposals. We could start slow, she wrote. You'd know about my other partners, but maybe not meet them right away. My eyes narrowed. That's not a compromise. That's me pretending polyamory is okay while I'm still monogamous. I didn't reply. Her next text accused me of being controlling, brainwashed by Disney movies and romance novels, unable to evolve past outdated societal norms. She claimed her therapist agreed that my refusal to explore polyamory was controlling. I wanted to scream into the phone. Your therapist or your TikTok? I muttered under my breath. Emily called repeatedly. I ignored the first 2 calls. The third, I answered, trying to keep my voice steady. Why are you avoiding me? She asked. I'm not avoiding you. I'm processing the fact that you ended our relationship last night. She hesitated, then pressed on. We want fundamentally different relationships. Jason, that's not something we can compromise on. Yes, we can, she insisted. My mind refused to bend. No, you want polyamory. I want monogamy. That's not negotiable. You're asking me to fundamentally change who I am. Silence followed. Then the inevitable. She hung up. Saturday arrived. Emily showed up with her best friend, Maddie, and her mother, Karen. Perfect. An audience for the end of everything. I had boxed up my things, labeled them, and waited. Karen's face fell the moment she stepped inside. I cannot believe you're doing this to her, she said, disbelief lacing every word. I greeted her politely. Hi, Karen. Good to see you too, she scoffed. Maddie chimed in. You realize you're throwing away a wedding over this? Emily didn't look at me. She was checking boxes, silently tallying what was going back to her place. I kept my voice calm. Marriage is about compromise. Some things aren't compromisable. I want monogamy. That's who I am. That's not a threat to you, it's a deal breaker. Maddie's voice rose. Do you even know that poly couples have lower divorce rates? It's scientifically healthier. I smiled faintly, letting the irony linger. Great, then they should all date each other. Emily chose monogamy over your science, over me, over 3 years. The packing continued. Every step they took out of the apartment echoed the ending of a life we had imagined together. Emily turned back one last time. You're really okay with this? She asked softly, almost pleading. I nodded. I'm not okay with it at all, but I'm not going to pretend to be someone. I'm not just to keep the peace. Her lips trembled. So polyamory would make you miserable? I asked. She hesitated. Yes, and monogamy would make you miserable. Yes, she admitted. I exhaled slowly. That was it. That was the final acknowledgement. We were done. The apartment was quiet now. Too quiet. I let myself sink into the stillness, letting every emotion wash over me, the loss, the confusion, the relief. My phone buzzed. Maddie, you're going to regret this. She's amazing. I blocked her without replying. Then Emily's text. I already have 2 people lined up to date me. My response, silence. What could I even say? Good luck. Then Instagram updates showed her with Trevor, cozy and smiling. I muted everything. The world shrank to the apartment, the boxes, and the echo of memories. 3 years, gone, deposits, invitations, everything. My wallet hurt, my heart ached, but inside, I knew I had chosen authenticity over compromise. A week later, Emily's mother called. "You broke her heart," she said. I smiled faintly. She chose her path. I didn't force anything. If she wants multiple partners, she should have figured that out before saying yes. Slowly, I began to pick up the pieces. New furniture, rearranged spaces, home-cooked meals. I saw friends more, went on a few dates, but nothing serious. People who didn't try to rewrite who I was. Connor asked if I regretted not trying polyamory. I didn't. I regret not seeing the signs sooner, I said. But I don't regret being honest about who I am. Meanwhile, Emily moved on, still exploring, still calling herself poly. I hoped she found what she wanted. The apartment felt emptier than ever. I sat on the couch, staring at the boxes that once held the promise of a future with Emily, wedding invitation samples, floral arrangements we'd agonized over, the tiny trinkets we'd picked together. They now seemed like relics of a life that belonged to someone else. My phone buzzed intermittently with reminders from vendors. The venue, the photographer, the caterer, non-refundable deposits, thousands of dollars flushed down the drain. I made the calls, splitting the losses where I could. Venue, $3,000 down the drain. So my share was $1,500. Photographer, $800. Caterer, $600 each transaction. Each Venmo request was a sharp reminder of choices made and dreams dismantled. I texted Emily, calmly laying out the costs and asking for her share. Silence. She ignored it, as if the financial realities of a life she no longer wanted were somehow someone else's responsibility. Even as I dealt with logistics, the emotional fallout was heavier. Connor called daily at first, checking in. "Are you okay, man?" he asked. Honestly, I didn't know. Some moments I felt liberated, other moments hollow. Emily had ended things over a concept she had discovered online in 6 weeks. 6 weeks, after 3 years of engagement. And now, weeks later, she was texting about compromise, about therapy, about maybe trying again. I blocked the messages, knowing that even if she wanted back in, the foundation had already crumbled. Trust, once broken, doesn't rebuild overnight. Friends and family offered support. My mom checked in. "Honey, it's okay to be sad," she said. "But you avoided something that would have made you miserable long term." I nodded, silently grateful for her clarity. Emily's mother, Karen, sent a long email later, articulating her own processing of the breakup, her disappointment, and her hope that we could reconcile. I read it, breathed, then typed a careful response. "I appreciate you reaching out, but I can't come back from this. Even if Emily's mind has changed, I will always wonder if she's settling, or if 6 months from now she wants polyamory again. I need to move forward." The weeks that followed were quiet, almost monotonous. I rearranged the apartment, bought new furniture, started cooking meals I actually wanted, not just takeout. I saw friends, went on a couple of dates, nothing serious, but it was healing. For the first time in months, I felt like myself again. No one was asking me to compromise the core of who I am. No one was asking me to pretend that monogamy didn't matter to me. Emily's life moved in parallel but separate. Social media updates revealed her still exploring, still calling herself poly, dating new people with intensity. Mutual friends updated me with snapshots of her romantic adventures, her new relationships forming, dissolving, and reforming. It stung, briefly, but I reminded myself, her path was hers, my path was mine. The pain of watching her move on was tempered by the relief of knowing I had stayed true to myself. 3 months post-breakup, I allowed myself to reflect without anger or regret. Yes, the deposits still hurt. 2,000 vanished into nothing, but better that than a life built on compromise, on erasing who I am to fit someone else's ideals. I had chosen authenticity, honesty, and emotional integrity. That decision, though painful, became a quiet triumph in my own narrative. I didn't close myself off to love. I opened doors cautiously, meeting new people who aligned with my values, who didn't ask me to become someone I wasn't. Every small interaction, every coffee date, was a reassurance that life could move forward. Connor teased me lightly, "Regret not trying polyamory?" I shook my head. I regret not seeing the signs sooner, I admitted. But I don't regret being honest about who I am. Emily reached out one last time, a brief text hoping I was well. I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. Closure isn't always loud, it's quiet, internal. It's in the deep exhale, the rearrangement of furniture, the reclamation of space. It's in the knowledge that choosing yourself, even when it costs you a shared dream, is sometimes the bravest thing you can do. Life moves on, relationships end, and sometimes the best love story is the one you tell yourself, that of integrity, resilience, and the courage to never compromise the core of who you are.